Hey, Brandon, that's Mike. Back from round two for another solo and at-home drilling while we are observing social distancing. So we got some other sport-specific drills and exercises to help your game, even though we are not on the mats. These are great workouts and keeping your body moving in a very jiu-jitsu specific way. Standard disclaimers first. Make sure you got enough space, clear the coffee table out of the way and everything else. If you have a bad knee, don't be dropping on it 100 times. We're gonna talk about how you can kind of modify and go from a lower height, obviously you probably don't have mats at home or anything like that. So modify accordingly. If you got a bum leg or whatever, we're not there to watch you. We're not there to make sure it's going right. So if something hurts, you're probably doing it wrong. Stop doing it. Ask us questions, things like that. But we're gonna do a warm up, and like before, we're gonna give you some ideas and give you some time, let you press pause on the video, go do it, and come back for the next set of instructions. Don't cheat, do them. Okay? I'm gonna pass it off to Mike so he can do our warm up.
Okay. First one is gonna be sit-outs. Okay, so wrestlers do this one all the time. You'll find this one if you're in turtle. This is a way to be able to go sit out. You're gonna go to both sides, so you're gonna start with picking one. You turn your body, so you're gonna take your opposite hand and opposite foot. They're gonna come up, and you're turning your body this way. Okay, you're not trying to turn all the way like you're looking up, but you want to have control. You're coming back down, taking the other side, and doing that. Okay, so you're going like this each time, making sure that you're keeping your head up because you don't want to be looking down. Because when you do this move for real, you're going to be throwing your head back around so that you can turn. You can then add on to that as you turn. It's come into a crab and then come right back. Okay, you can just keep doing that. Or you can just sit here and work getting those sit-outs to go through. Making sure that they're quick and you have some fluidity going into them. Okay, you set 10, 15, 20 rounds of reps of that, you'll be good to go for that one. So another one that you're gonna have is you can do side rolls. Okay, trying to get towards the camera. You can just do this, your hands in front, your hands underneath, your hands behind you. What you're gonna do is you're gonna turn onto your shoulder and come up in an inverted position. So you come here, use your feet to help push till you get to this position. Put your feet right back down. So you should be continuing to go in the same line that you were. Again, if you don't have much room, it's okay. You can just go back. Again, you can put your hands here. You can put them here, whatever works. You just have to come up onto your shoulders and then right back down. So as you start to get faster with them, you'll be able to do them much easier. And again, staying in that line, okay? Again, if you've got a little room, you can go. If you don't have that much room, do one, come right back, and do the other. Another one that we've got is shot walks, right? Always good to have shot walks. Again, if you're tall and you don't have much space, you can start from a down position. You can start up, but again, you're gonna have to have more room for that. So you can start here, and all you're gonna do is have your front leg that's gonna be up. You're gonna be moving towards your invisible opponent, bringing and making this knee being the penetrating step that's coming in. As you bring this foot up, you should be coming out and going like you're going into the person to then pick them up, right? If you got to reset because of room, you can come back and reset. Come back with the other leg. So you're going to be down, extending forward, bringing that knee, bringing the other one up. If you've got room, you can do a second one. Each time you're turning and making your hips go in that 45 direction, okay? And again, you would be able to do that, slowly walk, have a little bit of room that you can stand it up and do it from up. But again, as Brandon mentioned earlier, if you've got bum knee or you just don't have that much space, being down here and making those steps so that they're smooth every time, that's what you're looking for. Being able to gain some fluidity coming out of that. So you can hit pause, run those through, and get you warmed up.
Okay, so next thing we're gonna work on is standing up in base, which is one of the most fundamental things that we do. Technical stand-up, whatever you want to call it. But I know this insults the intelligence of some, but at the same time, we do have beginners who haven't done this as much, and it is an uber important move. And if you do this for any length of time, you can get get a good workout just doing repetitions of this. So it's almost a little bit of a cardio thing if you kind of just keep going. So opposite hand, opposite foot on the ground. I pick my bottom hip up off the ground. I swivel my hips between, and I put my foot behind my hand. Not out here, because now I'm a tripod. And the problem with a tripod is I need all three. Okay? So I put my foot behind my hand so that I can stand up and away. If you don't have a lot of space, you don't have to move back. But the whole point is that I do not have to bring my face forward towards the threat, nor do I have to turn my back to crawl away, but I can use this hand to block. I can kick with this leg, but I've got this hand blocking the entire time, protecting my face. I keep my weight on my hand. This is my base. We say standing up in base. This is my base until I can put my foot behind it and up and away. Okay? So to link it with a couple other things, we can do a little back fall to it so I stay nice and round. I tuck my chin so my head doesn't bounce. You don't have to do it from standing, and you don't have mats, you don't have a lot of space. So all you gotta do is come to the squat, fall down, hit your fall, plant your foot. So if I rock back and I come back forward, I still brought my face forward to the threat that defeats the purpose. So I fall back, right away I plant, I'm ready to go, and I stand back up and away. Okay? And you can just rep that. Here, boom, boom. 10 each side, or just 2 minutes of doing this. And again, you'll be sweating. Okay? If you want to add one more thing to it, combine it with what Mike just showed you and do your penetrating step. Okay? So from here, I swivel, I stand up, and as I come up, back up to my feet, they're maybe charging right back at me, right? So they knock me down, right? I was able to start to scramble to my feet, and now they're coming at me. So I use that penetrating step, and I come right back into them. They're coming at me. I hit the double leg takedown from there. So one more time: squat, back fall, stand up in base, penetrating step into my double leg. Okay? So we can chain like 3 different things right in a row there. Okay? Ball, stand up in base, boom. Whatever level of stand up in base you want to do that. Okay, so prior to the social distancing, one of the things we've been doing in class a lot lately was knee on belly. So we had a lot of solo drills or ways to reinforce and make sure you don't forget what we were doing right before we had to take a break. So knee on belly, to pop up on knee on belly, first thing we have is what we call our surfer drill. Okay, so depending on which type of knee on belly we're doing, okay, but from San Kilo's a traditional cross side, but I bring my elbow across his face, I get my thumb in the lapel, but I base here. Other hand goes on his hip, and I push up from here. So we do what we call our surfer drill. I bring this knee up and into position for my knee on belly. So the way we drill that without him, right, we've done it in class, so you might as well do it out of class too, is what we call our surfer drill. It's basically a push-up, but as you do your push-up, you bring your knee up into position. Never surfed in my life, but supposedly that is how you pop up on a board, hence the term surfer drill. Okay, so you do 2 to both sides, down, up, just like, again, you're doing it in class, might as well get some extra work in out of class, but very specific to what we do for knee on belly.
Okay, so another one that you can end up doing is you can be here, so the simulation would be with a real person, right? That you would be grabbing inside the knee cloth, you're moving the legs out of the way, stepping to the side. You want to step as close as you can to the side. Your knee would come down. Just for the sake of the drill, you can put your hands here. You're switching sides, knee on belly, coming all the way back around. Moving them, step to the side. Knee is right there, so it's right next to his hip. So you can simply drop this down, moving to the other side of the knee and belly, okay? So, boom, here, and all the way back around. Okay, so that's how you do that with a person, so you can simulate that the same way without. You can even have your pillow, whatever you need to have, couch cushions,
I
whatever.
shared the video someone was doing with the giant bunny today, right? From
Yeah, saw that one too.
the-
Right, just doing some back takes and everything else, it works. Right, so I'm here, grabbing, moving, stepping to the side, foot's in the knee is in the shin and the foot is right there by the hip, coming down, over to the side, coming back around, moving, stepping, coming back around. So you can continue to do that. And again, you're not just standing, you're crouching, so it's gonna be a little bit more of a workout than what you think, just by moving, coming around each time. So again, it's a full body movement. You start to do 10, 12, 20 reps of that. That's a decent amount of work, okay?
Okay.
Yep.
Next one, similar, is another knee on belly transition. Okay, so we step around the head. So I pop up to knee on belly, surfer drill. I come up, okay? Maybe he starts turning into me or starts turning away from me even. So to go to his shield or whatever, I step around his head. I put this knee down, and then this way back steps around, and we're careful not to backspin kick our partner when we do that back step. Okay, but now we switch, we've got knee on belly on the other side. So again, I step around, I switch knees, and then I step around. Make sure basically there's very little lag between here and here. Okay? And then I do my back step. Okay? It's kind of right here. So again, if you got kind of a firm sofa pillow or again something like that, something to keep your knee off the ground and a little cushion, well, we can do basically the same thing, okay? So we get to our knee on belly, we step around, we switch, and you don't even have to worry about back kicking or heel kicking your partner when you go around if it's a pillow. However, don't get lazy so that then when we get back in class, you're kind of getting lazy with that and you would be clipping everybody else, right? So I step around, drop, and around, step up, drop, and around. You're probably gonna be a little lower on them than you will a real person, so it might feel a little more awkward, but we're still just getting the motion, getting used to the stepping pattern and the trading the knees and everything else, so we think it'd still be worth it, okay? So if you do like 10 surfers to each side, 10 going around, like 10 loops one way, 10 loops the other way, and 10 of those down and back, that'll be a good workout. Do that.
Okay, so another one that we have is S-mount. Like, so I know some people haven't seen that one just yet, but that's okay. The position that you're sitting in is sitting like this. You're trying to make your knee go to your heel, to your knee, to your heel. Okay, so when you're sitting on somebody for real in this position, you'd be in here like this, sitting this way. So you can kind of hear that pressure because I'm putting all this pressure across Brandon's solar plexus right here. And you need to be in a nice stable base so your heel's coming in, you're still using active toes, and you're stable in here. You get bumped, you can move around, you can push, you can transition, okay? But you also need to be able to do the transitions, and that's what we're gonna look at, okay? So to understand that position, you're sitting here like this, and to practice, okay, you wanna try and keep this semi-close together or as much as you can, you're gonna lift the legs and transition, okay? So it doesn't look complicated, but when you're first trying to do these, you might end up doing this stepping thing here like this to come around, or you put your hands down to try and come around, okay? Which is fine in the beginning. What you want to be able to get to is a little bit of that fluidity where you're able to transition and keep everything nice and low. And by low, I mean I'm trying to keep my elbow connected into my thigh, so I'm staying connected here, so I always feel like I'm strong in this position, okay? And again, you can tell it's not a big wobble. I'm not falling over as I'm doing this. You're trying to keep your center of balance, so you're staying right here and keeping everything nice and tight, okay? Okay, that's one.
So another transition from cross-side to mount. If they start to turn into us, they're trying to dive this arm in deep this way and to bridge into me and turn me, right? And he does his knee under, right, on his bridge like we told you to practice doing in the last video, right? But as this is happening, right, one thing I can do is I can step up tight into this monoplotted position. I'm already attacking the monoplotted from here, or at least I have a good mount, okay, if nothing else. So from here, for the sake of the flow, for the sake of the drill, we're going to slide over, I'm going to slide off, I'm going to cowboy off, this foot's going to step off, and I'm going to slide off. Of course, I could retain the arm, right, and start attacking the arm, or go into omoplata rolls and stuff like that from here, whatever we want to do. Right? But for the sake of the drill, we just come completely off, he comes up to the other side, we step over, okay, we get the monoplata on this side, and again, I step off and slide around. Step up, step off, step up, slide off, step up, slide off, okay? So, we do the same thing, and again, it'll be a little more contrived without a partner. If you can con someone that you are quarantined with into doing this with you, more power to you. But even if you can't on the floor, whatever, get the motion the same way. So I step up and over, thinking about pinching that tight. I put my weight on them, but I would sit down, cowboy off, turn back around. Step up, height, sit down to my haunch, step around. It's a good word, haunch. You don't get to use that word all that often, right? So we step up, sit down as I step over, step up, sit as I step around, okay? And again, it's gonna feel a little awkward without someone underneath you, but if you can just start to kind of get the fluidity of the motions, then when we get a partner underneath us, we won't be quite so lost which way to turn, kind of the balance and everything else. It'll be there a little bit, okay? So again, do a couple sets of those, and we'll be back to finish off. All right, so again, we believe that you, hopefully, if you've not been cheating, you've had a pretty good workout already. We're gonna finish off with Tabata, and we're gonna do 2 different types of exercises. The first one is twisted pistons, which is really good for grappling. It's twisting our hips and dropping our hips to the ground like we need to do a lot of places while we're grappling. So we're here from kind of the plank position on our elbows. I'm going to switch my hips and drop my hip down to the floor, and then come back up to my square position, and then I'm going to go to the other side and back up, okay? We're going to alternate those rounds with a suicide plank.
Yeah, so suicide planks are going to be, you're down in a plank position, you're going to take one hand and you're going to alternate sides, so it doesn't really matter which one you start with. It comes up to a push-up position, then the other one comes up to a push-up position, then you come back down. So it looks like that, and that's what you keep doing. Then if you want to get crazy, switch it up to the other side during the next session. Okay, so those are the 2 that we're going to end up doing for a Tabata round.
Right, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 rounds total, so 4 of each type of exercise will alternate, okay? And so you get a little bit of both in there. But we're gonna do it with you, so you can keep you can keep it going. We're gonna do it with you just because we feel bad just barking orders to you guys, so you know we're doing it too. So we'll suffer with you. Okay, so here we go. Twisted pistons, here we go. Whose idea was this?
We've done those in a while, haven't we?
Not enough. All right, here we go.
We used to sit here and talk through these.
Yep.
Right? Ask people what their favorite movie was. That's what they did during the day. It's been back. Very unfortunate memories.
Animal House, Braveheart.
Yeah? What you watched recently?
Me either. and Pacific Rim. Don't judge me. Let's do that. Good action, movie. Halfway.
Come in and do remote videos, he said. It'll be easy.
One more of each. There you go. So again, while you come from Drill to Win, hope you are doing that. Hope we see you back on the mats sooner than later. But in the meantime, keep working on it.
Stay healthy.